It's interesting. The other day I went to this bookstore. It's this cool experience I had yesterday.
There's one actually left?
I know, right? There's this little independent used bookstore.
Oh, nice.
It's beautiful. It's over in Atwater Village.
Oh.
And I walked in and I saw these beautiful typewriters, these Remingtons that were reconstructed and painted and beautiful. And I was drawn into it, and there was this woman there that was, she was writing on it. I was like, these are beautiful. I wanted to buy one, but I was checking it out. She goes, oh, these are my typewriters. I'm like, oh, are they on exhibit? And she goes, yeah, they're on exhibit. And she said, I'm actually a poet. I'm doing a kind of a exhibit. And I'm like, what kind of poet are you? And she goes, well, I do this thing where I'll look into your eyes. You can tell me a word or a theme or something, and tell me something that's relevant to you. And then I'll write a poem for you. And you can just pay me whatever you think it's worth. I was like, that's amazing. I have to do this. Yeah, it was very cool. So there was this phrase that was going through my head earlier in the day, the outrunning ghosts. It's just an interesting idea. And so I mentioned that. And she looked at me for a little bit, and I could see the wheels turning, and there's this kind of unique connection. And then she turns around, puts a small slip of paper into the Remington, and she starts typing. And she starts out with the first outrunning ghosts of love, she wrote. And then she started writing this poem. It just flowed out of her. And it, like, she almost ran out of space. And she says that rarely happens because something connected and it just worked. She pulled it out and she said, can I read it to you? I was like, yes, of course, that's even better. So she read it to me, and I was surprised. It genuinely moved me. And I love poetry. Most poetry is awful. And so I'm a little skeptical when it comes to poetry. But I wanted to hear it, and she came from such an emotionally open place. When she wrote so she started writing this thing that genuinely moved me. And, you know, my eyes teared up, and she realized, and she got emotional from it as well. And what was amazing was that she was actually tapping into something that was deeply relevant to me personally. And I think that right there is the core of great writing, which is that she opened herself up emotionally, and she delved into her own subconscious in a way that she was able to extract this metaphors that resonated with me in a very, very deep way. We don't know each other at all. Her name is Jacqueline Suskin. And I just remember because she signed it and put her name at the bottom of the poem. And it was this beautiful experience where just by engaging the metaphors that were relevant to her, she spoke to something that I needed to learn and experience. And that, to me, is at the core of what it means to be a writer. It's at the core of what it means to be an artist, to engage those metaphors. And so what we're trying to do as writers, screenwriters, novelists, storytellers, short stories, whatever, we're trying to delve into that meaningful place, that vulnerable place, and in some way diagnose or identify or even just express some conflict through the metaphors we're engaging. And that's where we find the meaning. The anatomy of chaos.
So do you think she's like an empathic poet? Is that
definitely? She was showing pure empathy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm skeptical when it comes to, you know, supernatural things and things like that. But whatever metaphor she was dealing with or that she was drawing on spoke directly to me in a really beautiful way. And I think great writers can do that. I think and when I say great writers, I mean, I think everybody should be writing. It makes us all better. It's like Vonnegut says, go write a poem. It'll make you a better person. But great writers are able to tap into that subconscious in such a way that they'll speak to a human experience that connects to all of us.
It's interesting you said ghosts, because I just finished Every Love Story is a Ghost Story, I think, about David Foster Wallace.
Oh, God.
So it's about his life. And I couldn't read the end.
Yeah, that guy breaks my heart.
It was too sad. And I started to get angry in some sense because he was so talented.
Yeah.
and I felt like it was such a waste, and I was very upset, and I couldn't read the end.
Yeah.
But I read the beginning and the middle, and it's just an interesting concept of ghosts as well, because in some senses that all we're seeking is this, like, just how she wrote this poem, just like this empathic experience through what we watch, what we read. Are we looking for what we're watching to basically tell us about ourselves?
Yeah.
And so I was just wondering, and you brought up the ghosts, so that was just interesting because I had just finished that. But
yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, David Foster Wallace.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Sorry.